Hi guys, I'm Eliza and I'm back with another video. Today it's time for a Monday read where I talk about the books that I read over last week and what I'm planning on reading into this next week. Well, last week I set the goal for myself to read 1,592 pages with an average 227 pages per day. It was very ambitious and I didn't think I would get to it, but I did end up reading 1,272 pages with an average of 182 pages per day, and I finished 3 different books. So let's start out by talking about the books that I did end up finishing. The first thing that I finished last week was Christine by Stephen King. This is the next book in my Stephen King project, and Christine is about we meet the 2 boys, Arnie and David. Arnie is a boy who's a bit of an outsider in general. He has a difficult time making friends. He has skin issues. He is like the one no one really wants to talk to, but he does have one good friend in Daddy's Daniel. I forgot his name, but he's the one we sort of see the story from mostly. And one day Arnie becomes obsessed with sees this car and instantly becomes obsessed with it. And the car is called Christine. It's a really, really old and dingy car that definitely has to go through some changes in order to be able to drive even. But he buys it off this other dude who was also acting really strange. And something changes the second that Arnie buys this car, and everything changes in all of their lives. And it turns out that Christine is not just your average car. There's definitely more to the car than normal, and it has a certain effect on other people, and it's able to drive on its own, so it's definitely creepy. Overall, I enjoyed this one. It was fun to be back in a Stephen King book. I haven't read from him in a while, so I was happy to be back. I don't think this is like my favorite thing, so I don't know what it was about it that didn't make it too scary for me, but I definitely missed a little something in order for me to be completely creeped out. And I guess that's why I'm landing on a 4 stars rather than something higher, but I did enjoy it. I was also debating whether it was a 3.5 or 4 stars, but it ultimately ended on a 4 stars because I actually did enjoy my time when I was listening to it. So the next thing that I did finish was Vision in Silver by Anne Bishop. This is the 3rd book in the other series, and it's one I've been really struggling with to get through. And I think the main reason for me not loving this book from the beginning to the end is that the plot itself was not super exciting. Like, I don't mind slow moving books, but this one, it was like the things that were happening I was not super interested in. But there were definitely some things in the beginning and like some things in the end that I really enjoyed, but I would have wished the middle part was a little bit more interesting. I hope that the next one will be better. I feel like it's set up a good story for the next coming books, so hopefully I'll enjoy the next one more. And I was happy to sort of be back in this world, even though some of the things that I loved in the other books seemed to nag on me in this one. I don't know what it was about it. There's something about the way that they talk. And there was also the whole romantic relationship between Simon and Meg in this one is like, I don't know, there was something about it that didn't click with me this time around, so I don't know what it was about that, but that definitely threw me out of the story a little bit, but I did enjoy it overall and gave it 4 out of 5 stars. The last and final thing that I finished last week was Eliza and Her Monsters by Francesca Zappia. This is a standalone book. It is a book that follows Eliza. Eliza is the creator of a very popular webcomic, and one day she finds out that one of her schoolmates are in fact a really, really big fan of this comic that she's writing, and is writing some fan fiction about it. And so somehow they end up becoming friends, but she doesn't dare say that she is the creator of this. So yeah, Eliza spends a lot of her time online, and that's basically where she is able to talk to other people. She has a hard time being social in the day-to-day life. And yeah, there was a lot of things that I really enjoyed about this one. I haven't really set the rating for this one yet. I don't think I've marked it as read on Goodreads yet. But I don't know, I did enjoy it a lot. I thought there were definitely a lot of potential, and I understand why it's such a popular story and why so many people relate to it, especially in this community that we're part of, because it does talk a lot about the online community. And in that way, it was very relatable, but there are other things that I found not so relatable. And I don't know, everything shouldn't always be relatable, so I don't know why I'm reluctant to give it a high rating, but there was just something about it that I didn't really love. But I think I'm on a 3.5 stars for this one, possibly a 4. I had to sit on it a little bit, so maybe I will have made up my mind when I get around to the wrap up, but I think it's a 3.5 stars, even though I do enjoy it. A 3.5 is not a bad rating, it's just I didn't love it. But yeah, those are the 3 things that I did finish over the last week, and now I'm gonna get into what I'm planning on reading for next week. I've set some really lowered goals for myself this week, because I don't know if you've seen my TBR for October, but it's not super ambitious, and I am just so in the mood to pick up whatever I feel like. So I've left a lot of room for me to pick up whatever I feel like of my TBR. But what I do want to read are these. On Friday, I started on Silence Fallen by Patricia Briggs, and I've made a lot of progress in it already. I'm really enjoying it. I'm on page 211, and I have about 120 pages left. 130 pages left, I think. And I hope to finish this today or tomorrow, because I'm really into it right now. And so I would like to read something from this every evening. Another book that I'm also working on is Trumps of Doom by Roger Zelazny. I am over halfway through it. I think I'm 111 pages into it out of 185. So I have about 65 pages left of it, and I'm sort of enjoying it. I'm hoping I'll end up really enjoying it. But it's definitely interesting. It's different following this character, and I'm not really sure what is what and what is up and down in this one, but it's definitely interesting, and I'm looking forward to see how it's gonna end up. And finally, the last one it's not the last one I'm also reading, but the last one I'm also reading, and I'm also planning on finishing it this week, is Hexayan's Forbandelse, or The Curse of the Bane, which is the second book in the Spooks Apprentice, The Last Apprentice, and what's the name? I forgot, it has 2 titles, I forgot it again. This series follows this guy called Thomas, who becomes the witch hunter's apprentice, or the spook's apprentice. And he becomes this person because he's the 7th son of the 7th son, so there's something magical about him. There's a lot of things to it. In this one, there's something going on that's definitely not very good, and I'm interested to see how it's all gonna end up. I only have like half an hour left of the audio, so I'll finish it tonight as I'm cooking, so happy about that. But yeah, I didn't manage to finish it yesterday, but I'm definitely finishing it today. So yeah, those are the things that I'm currently working on, that I plan on finishing this week. Then I've put on that I want to read one audiobook from my TBR, and that is An Argumentation of Historians by Jodie Taylor. This is the 9th book in the Chronicles of St. Mary series, and I would like to get to this one over the week. I actually decided to pick up something completely different today, because it was still September, and I was like, I'm not gonna start my October reads yet, even though I could have done it. I decided to read whatever I felt like in this specific moment, and in this morning I had no idea what I was gonna pick up, so I haven't written anything down. But I ended up picking up this book or audiobook called Turned Ninja, or Checkered Ninja, which is by Anders Matthesen. Anders Matthesen also the one who narrates it, and Anders Matthesen is a Danish comedian. He's like one of the biggest Danish comedians in Denmark, like the most popular. And he does a lot of different things. He does one-man shows, as the majority of them does, but he also does he used to do sketch shows from for the radio. Like he did radio sketches where he was doing this thing called, what are you talking about? It's like, that was what it was called. And it was all kinds of funny things. And then he has done 2 different movies now. The first one is called Tackle Knive or Tackle in Trouble, and Tiny Ninja or Checkered Ninja. This is the second one. Tiny Ninja was in the cinemas last year, and I haven't watched it, so I didn't know what it was about at all. And I feel like I'm the only Dane that hasn't watched it, but I do really enjoy Anders Madsen. I think he's funny. But he also can be a little bit rude and crude. So he definitely is able to make fun of things that other people wouldn't dare pick up because they would think it was too far out. So I don't know. I like it, and so far I've had so much fun listening to this. I've only listened to 40 minutes and I've laughed out loud a lot while I was driving. I'm not sure how safe that was, but I was enjoying it nonetheless. And so I'm definitely enjoying that one. And it follows this guy called Aske, who is he's in school. Obviously, he has a birthday and he gets this present, which is a doll that looks like a checkered ninja, and the doll seems to like have a mind of its own and like being able to do stuff. So it's definitely very strange, but it's very funny as well. It's not scary, but it's not like light funny, if you will. I'm enjoying it so far. And one of the reoccurring characters that Anders Madsen has is Stuart Stardust, and for the first time I've never been like super annoyed with Stuart Stardust, as I know who he is, I know what he does, and I know how he usually talks, but for the first time he actually seems to care about the character, that our main character, so that was a different change, because I didn't feel like he cared very much about Tackle, that's for sure. And yeah, apparently they are in the same family. I don't think he can drop the characters that he's made for himself, so just like that. So he was about to try to drop Stuart Stardust at some point, but he didn't. And that character is a drunk sailor type person who's definitely saying things just as he feels like saying it, and is not caring that other people get hurt in the process. Yeah, but you know, he's the weird uncle in the family, but he makes it a little bit more colorful, that's for sure. So far I'm enjoying it, and hopefully I will keep enjoying it. I'm looking forward to seeing what will happen in the book as it progresses. So yeah, it was a very spur of the moment pick for me. And the last and final thing that I want to try and start out this week is actually Pet Sematary by Stephen King, to see if I can get like I put myself down for 160 pages. That's not a lot, but at least then I would have started it. And so yeah, my total pages over this next week is 906, with an average of 129 pages per day. For some it's still a lot, and I don't think that just that it's little, it's just I know I can get through this amount in just listening to an audio for an hour or 2. So no problem. So for me, it's not a lot. And now the sun is shining right in my face. So I guess this is all I had for you today. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any exciting plans for this next week. Did you read anything interesting last week? Have you read any of the books that I've been talking about today? And what are your thoughts about them? If you did. And yeah. Also, actually, I have 2 more announcements to tell you. The first one is I am not vlogging any longer. I decided to stop that after the Fantasy Festival vlog, just because I think you've noticed that I've been very far behind with my vlogging videos. So I tried doing it in a different way to see if it worked for me. I do enjoy updating my reading progress vlog-wise, vlog style. But I don't enjoy the editing part of it very much, and I feel like there's so much to edit every time I have something, and yeah, it's just a lot. And so from now on I will only be vlogging when there's something extra, like a readathon. I'm going to be vlogging the spookathon, and if I'm going to be joining the Jewish 24-hour readathon, I'll be vlogging that experience. and sort of like that. And I would also in the future vlog something like the fantasy festival, just because it's different and it's something I would like to share with people. And then whenever I feel like it, maybe. But just don't expect to get vlogs every week any longer, because it's not gonna happen. And another thing about the Alana read along, I hope that everyone that wanted to read it has sort of been reading it or about to pick it up or something like that right now. I'm planning on having the live show on Sunday next weekend, I guess, at around 8 p.m. my time zone, which is, I would say, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, if that helps you at all. So see if you can make it fit, if it works with you. If there's another time that works better for the majority of the people, then please let me know and I'll try and make it fit. But I think this way I can get as many as possible to join. The thing that's difficult is finding a time when both, like Australia, Southern Asia, that part of it, North America and Europe can be on at the same time. So I know I have a couple I wanted to join me that is from Australia, and there's a couple, definitely a few of you from the US. The majority is from the US, so I had to incorporate that for sure. Yeah, so let me know how it works out for you, and I will try and accommodate as best as possible. But right now my time is around 8 p.m. on Sunday, my time zone. Otherwise I don't have very many things to say, so definitely if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video very, very soon. Bye!